pianoryland@gmail.com. Listener request from YouTube user Luckyson. Lucky had picked a video called I Woke Up This Morning with My Mind Stayed on Jesus. It was a live demo. I've never heard the song before, but did a quick listen and fast forwarded to, I believe it was 3 minutes, 20 seconds, thereabout. Lucky, so I'm going to tailor make this video for you. And you had asked me to go over a couple of things that they did as they moved forward in time past 3 minutes and 20 seconds. The song, the way they did it, is in the key of G, and it utilizes just a standard jazz progression of chords, and it's pretty simple with the 1s, 4s, and 5s. So if we're in the key of G, all whites except for one black note, which is the F sharp, appears, so that keeps our chords fairly simple. So 1 or home would be G chord, G, B, and D. And then the next chord is C, C, E, and G. One of the other simple chords they use is D major, D, F sharp, and A. And it pretty much goes back to G, B, and D. Now there are some turnarounds and other neat little interesting things that they have placed in there that are a little more advanced in nature, and we might be able to get to some of those. So it pretty much is, I woke up this morning feeling fine with my mind, Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on the Lord. I woke up this morning feeling fine. Now notice that the way I'm voicing this, and voicing just means which inversion. So instead of just doing here, again, you've always seen me try to put that pinky to use by utilizing the melody. Alright, so that's one of the chords as they get to the end of the phrase. So that is an E minor. So an E minor chord is comprised of E natural, G natural, and B natural. E, G, B, that's E minor or 6 minor. Okay, and then the line finishes out. Boom, 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 boom. Back to G in first inversion. And so that will be E major, E, G sharp, and B. And these are all very quick, what we call passing chords as they get to the very end of the phrase. So E major, and then to A major. A, C sharp, E, and G. Mine on. So it's a D major chord, and I just put the 7 underneath. On him, back to the G major in first inversion, or 1. Alright, so that little quick snippet at the end. G, E major, A major, D major. Alright, now at 3:20, about 3 minutes and 22 seconds, you asked me about some triplets, and you were exactly right. What they did, I've done this lick, this little vamp before in another video, but here it is. Triplet, 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 triplet. So all he's doing is bouncing off the 4 sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sharp, 5. Triplet, 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 triplet. Classic jazz right hand fill. So that's what they're doing. So G, G, D, G. Hope that's on the keyboard where you can see it. So it just uses 3 fingers, okay? And then they go into, after that triplet section, they do a derivative of the jazz scale, which descends or comes down. We've talked about the jazz scale before. So G, F, D, C sharp, C, B flat, G, F, G. Hear that sound? There are several different kinds of jazz scales, and this is a derivative of them, and a lot of people choose different ways to voice it, and that's fine. This may not be exactly what they used, but this is very close. And they continued that pattern. That's what he was doing after that. So that's kind of what they were doing. And again, I don't have it memorized. I don't have it exactly right, but we're getting it close enough to give you an idea. Another thing you heard him do right after that, moving after 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe they were doing some of this. So what they've done is they've taken octave G chord. So you've got G, B, D, and G in the right hand. And then right here they put in the thumb. Remember how I talked about using you can play using 4 fingers to hit 5 notes, and that happens with the thumb where you put those 2 together. The F goes under the G, then the B, and the D, and the G. And so you'll hear them. So that's what that sound is. Take a listen to more of that in the video and try and figure out some more. That's very good. Another little trick he used was a glissando. A glissando simply is a fancy word which means you take your fingers and you go up the keys to the top of the keyboard, and then you turn around and you come back down the keyboard. That's a glissando. It's a type of rake. You've heard me use that term before. So he did that, and it happened very quickly. You'll hear it. Alright, so that's a glissando. Another way to voice some of the things, as he got to the end of the video, a very talented pianist, I might add, and he does things several different ways, and it always keeps you guessing on what he's going to do next as he evolves the pattern of chords and what he's doing. Another classic jazz left hand voicing is a type of 13. Now 13 simply means if G is 1, D is 5, G is 8, then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So a 13 merely means that there's an interval of an E spread out. So this is a 13 type chord, but in jazz piano harmonies, you can't, your hands are not wide enough and long enough to hit 13ths as an interval in its natural state. So what we have to do is compress the intervals and then pick and choose which notes to play. And this is a very popular jazz left-hand voicing. So if you'd had a G chord, G, B, and D, I hope you can see that on the screen. If you just took an F natural, and a B natural, and an E natural. Alright, so those three notes right there, F, B, and E. And you can tell there's an unusual sound that occurs, and what you're hearing is you're hearing a perfect fourth stacked over a tritone. So one day we'll get into all that verbiage, but the tritone simply means it's an interval of a fourth but a half step larger, so a sharp 4. And so that's what is happening there. And a tritone is signature in jazz harmony. Hear it? And so then you have a perfect fourth on top of that. And so then you combine those two. It's a very powerful interval. And so then the bass guitar player usually hits the 1. So there's a nice little 13 chord. Hear that pretty sound? And so a lot of times the jazz players will do this. Fits so much better now when you layer all the different textures on top. Okay. There's also another left-hand voicing you can use, and then I'll need to close. We're running out of time. In a G chord, if you took the B, then the F natural, and the A natural. Okay? So this is a G9. This is also a popular chord. So in your pinky B, then index finger's F, thumb is A, and then just listen to this like we just did a second ago. There's it with the bass. Alright, we'll expand some more, and you can send me the timestamp and let me know what you think, Lucky. I hope you're doing well today. And thank you again, as always, for listening and subscribing. Talk to you later.